My dad stood in my kitchen and said, Dad, you need to start preparing for the day you are gone. 3 days later, I found a document transferring my house to her name with a signature I never wrote. My name is Daniel Harper and I am 61 old. I live outside Columbus, Ohio. For almost 35 years, I worked as a chemical electrician. I started with one toolbox and an old pickup truck and eventually built a small electrical contracting company with 8 employees. My wife Susan and I raised 2 children. Our son Mark moved to Florida after college. Our daughter Emily stayed nearby. Emily was 33 year married to Jason and they had 2 kids. I loved all of them, especially my grandchildren. Whenever Emily needed help, I tried to be three. If the kids needed school supplies, I bought them. If their car broke down, I fixed it. When they fell behind on their mortgage, I quietly helped with several payment. I never asked for the money back. I thought that's what parents did, but something changed during the previous 6 months. Emily started asking strange question. Dad, have you update you well? Who gets the house? If something happens to you, is the business still under your name? At first, I did not think much of it. Then Jason started asking similar question. One evening, he caused sad. Dad, managing a property like yours gets harder as you get older. I laughed. I am 61, now 91. He smiled, but he did not laugh. Then came Saturday night. Susan was visiting her sister for the weekend, and I was downstairs watching television when Emily called. Dad, I come over tomorrow. Sure, she paced. Actually, I need to talk to you about something. What kind of something? Nothing bad. We will talk tomorrow. The next morning, she arrived with Jason. Neither of them looked comfortable. Emily sat across for me at the kitchen table. Dad, we think you should start planning for the future. I already have a will. No, I mean you property. I frowned. What about it? She looked at Jason. Then back at me. You should not be crying everything alone. I told her I was perfectly capable of handling my own affairs. Sigrid, Dad, we are your family. You need to trust us. That sentences stayed with me because less than 48 hours later I discovered exactly what their version of trust looked like. Monday morning, I went into my office looking for an old insurance document. While searching throughout a filing cabinet, I found an envelope I did not recognize. Inside was a property transfer document. I read it twice. I started that my house was beginning transfer into a family trust. The beneficiaries was Emily and Jason. Then I say the signature, my signature accepted. It was not mine. It looked close, but I knew my own handwriting. Someone had copied it. I immediately called my atto- attorney, Rebecca Collins. She told me not to comfort anyone until she reviewed the paperwork. An hour later, I was sitting in her office. She examined the document carefully. Daniel, did you sign this? No. Oh, did you authorize anyone to sign for you? No. She pulled another document from the file. This is a power of attorney from 5 year old. I remember it. I did not sign it temporarily when I needed someone to handle some business paperwork, but it had been revoked years ago. Rebecca checked the records. That's when she recovered something gross. The old power of attorney had somehow been used to create the property transfer, and the person who filed the paperwork was Jason, my daughter's husband. I sat there silently. Then Rebecca asked, "Do you want we to call your daughter?" No. I stood up. I will do that myself. That evening, Emily came over. I placed the documents on the kitchen table. What is this? Her face immediately changed. Dad, did you do this? She looked at Jason. He said nothing. Then Emily whispered, we were not trying to hurt you. That was not my question. She started crying. Dad, we thought you were going to leave the housing to us. Evidently, she nodded. So you decided to talk it early? No, that's not what happened. I pointed at the document. My signature is for good. Jason finally spoke. You were going to give us the house anyway. I looked at me. Who told you that? He did not answer. I turned to Emily. Did I ever promise you this house? No. Did I ever tell you I was yours? No. Then why did you put my name on a document I never signed? You covered her face, and Jason finally admitted the truth. They were behind on their mortgage. They were afraid the bank would take their house. They believed my property could save them, so they decided to make sure my house would be theirs before anything happened to me. I did not scream. I did not threaten them. I simply told them you were worried about losing your home. I picked up the documents, and now you have lost something much more valuable. Emily looked at me. What my trust? The following week, my attorney filed everything necessary to challenge the transfer and formally revoke the old power of attorney. The property stayed mine. The forged document was reported, and I changed my will, not because I hated my daughter, because inheritance is a gift. It is not something children get to claim while their parents are still alive. Some month later, Emily came to my house alone. She sat at kitchen table and cried. Dad, I was scared. I know I made to worst decision of my life. I looked at her. You can make mistakes and still be my daughter. She started crying harder. But being my daughter does not mean you are untitled to everything I own. She nodded. I understand. I do not know what the future will look like. Maybe our relationship will completely heal. Maybe if or not. But one thing is certain. I am no longer confusing love with unlimited trust. And if my children ever inherit anything for me, I want it to be because I choose to give it to them, not because they found a way to take it. If you were in my position, would you forgive your daughter? Tell me what you would do in comments. And if you enjoy family drama stories like this, subscribe to the channel for more stories.